What is good, guys? Let's do another backtesting session. This is the, what day is it? Day 34, I guess. Day 34. So let's get into it right quick. So let's do some backtesting. We'll be backtesting the silver bullet strategy. And by the way, I got some losses. They were quite like 2% on my account. But I know the strategy still works, so I can't just go rogue because the strategy just showed me a few losses. Alright, so let's go to the next week where we can get the next silver bullet session. This is 19, we had 4 hours, 14, now add 3, 1, 2, 3. Right, so first the analysis. So the weekly is looking a little bit, 1 minute. Right, so the weekly, you can see you have previous weekly high, previous weekly low right here, and this 900 we were dropping, and we had took out this low right here, and currently in this zone, which means we have the potential to push higher. So let's not spend much time on this right here, but we can just mark the levels, mark previous week high, previous week low, but we just need this previous week high. Right, so now let's go to the daily, previous week high, yeah, this was the previous week's high, this was the previous week's low. Yeah. Then on the daily, you can see previous week's high corresponds with previous day high, which means it's a strong level of liquidity. Going to the 4 hour, you can see that we had reacted on this fair value gap, so we would want the next 4 hour candle to expand higher. So same as what we'll see on the 2 hour, the analysis is still the same. Might like to look for expansions to the higher levels. So let's use the 1 minute for NAS 100. I want to focus on the 1 minute, while for GU and EU Forex I'll be using like the 5 minute. So we go, we drop. Notice that we received a gap here and another one here, so let's see which one it retests. You can see we break through all of them. This is where we would likely look for now the 5 minute, because the 1 minute disrespected the first gaps it created. So it looks like we are still in the fair value gap. So morning session doesn't provide, okay, you can see a gap. Let's see if it gets retested and we enter into the gap. Keep in mind we're in the 5 minute, so we enter here, stop loss right here, and our 1 to 2 will be near the liquidity level. Let's see if this one goes to TP. We're in London session, so this one goes straight to stop loss. Yeah, so you can download the image. By the way, I don't think I'll be looking on NAS 100 anymore in the London session silver bullet, in the morning silver bullet. Yeah, so let's go to the next silver bullet now. Okay, so you can see we took out some lows right here, and boom, we create a gap right at the opening. We fill it on the 1M, so small gap, and we retest it. Let's see how this candle closes. Next one tries to respect a bit and shows signs of pushing higher, which means here we should look for a long, because that's what the strategy says. I mean, as in we target here as our stop loss and our TP like 1 to 2. but I think the odds are low, because when you go back to the 1 hour you can see that we are dropping as crazy. So yeah, this trade wouldn't be a guarantee. You can see we were automatically stopped out here, so we should basically, you know, have a larger confirmation. But how did the 1 minute look like? So you can see first fair value gap here, we took out this high, we shifted in structure here. Let's see if we get a retest. Okay, so we want just to retest this fair value gap, by which we did, which means we can have a drop just like this, target 1 to 2. So guys, I need more confidence. I don't want to be doubting my strategy every single time. Like sometimes I go to it and I'm like, man, what if this doesn't work out? So I need to learn how to, you know, not to doubt the system. So we end up getting stopped out again. So it looks like we are in the losing days of the silver bullet. Anyways, so 5 minutes. We want to go to the next silver bullet session, which will be in 3 hours. Okay, so let's see. What's our draw on liquidity? We can target these equal lows. So do we get an opportunity? We have a small gap presented. How does this candle close? So you can see all candles are trying to close there, which means here you can look for a sell. By what I mean by the candle closings, it's, you can see like where these candles are closing is near the close of this fair value gap, but I can't quite, I would have trusted this if this candle would have closed somewhere here, but it closed above, so no setup. We wait, just take breathe and see, but we just wanted it to go lower, so it doesn't, which means this day no entry. So this was the PM session of New York. No wonder, but I know the next silver bullet session will be nice, because GU never disappoints in the morning session. Well, sometimes it doesn't provide an entry, but it's the price action is more clean there. So first of all, why are we pushing higher? We have a high right here, which means it's a good point of liquidity. And on the 1 hour, let's see if we are in some kind of POI. So we aren't in any kind of POI, or maybe we might be retracing to this order block right here. So let's see how the market provides. Let's observe and then we will react. Right, so drop humongously. Create a fair value gap, come to it in here. You can take a long here, stop loss here, take profit 1 to 2 here. This close one, and we end up hitting take profit. Whoa, that was a really close one. I think we should have added a few pips, like just to accommodate for the spreads, and then to get a full 1 to 2. But man, that was really close. So it all happened within the session, no delays. Anyways, let's journal this as well, and let's look for the next session, which will be New York, and it's 6 hours from now. 6 hours from now. This one, then we do 1, 2. So what's our draw on liquidity? Let's find a liquidity point we have here. So you can see that we came here, created a break of structure, we dropped, failed to break above this high, instead shifted structure, we tested a good order block, then we started dropping. So let's see if we respect this order block or if we keep dropping as a response to this OB. So we push higher. Is there a fair value gap? Small one here. Let's see if it gets retested. And yep, we enter, we click on the fair value gap right here, and we can put our stop loss a few pips below there, low, and we target our 1 to 2. We should have targeted actually these highs, and we want to take out these highs. So it's currently trying to reject the zone, but it didn't. So the candles tried to close above, but it failed, as you can see right here. So this one was a loss. So now we'll wait for the next silver blade session. I don't think I'll be taking a trade in this one. I saw that the price action is quite messy, right? Quite messy there. So let's see if it even provided an entry. So you can see no entry was provided. No, we just want the first fair value gap. No, none other than that. Let's go to the next silver blade session. 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3. Whoa, this is massive. This is massive. So you can see we have some equal lows, relatively equal lows taken out here. Have a good sweep of liquidity. Then we push higher, we shift structure. Then on the 15-minute, it's also there, but in different kind of a, which means we might retest this gap right here, which will correspond with another setup in the silver bullet. So let's see how this goes. So let's see, start consolidating a bit. So we're not pushing low as we wanted. Alright, so we want to retest this gap. Let's see how this goes. So we can take an entry towards the gap. You can see that we targeted the gap below. Turning bluebirds. So we didn't retest this one. We just wanted a retest to this one, then we push high, push lower. But regardless, even though this wouldn't be the silver bullet, this will be a good entry on the 15-minute if we retest somewhere here. So let's see. You can see that we dropped into the gap, and we can just enter here, stop loss here. And the next round liquidity will be like this high or some other kind of high that will give us a good risk to reward. So let's see what happens here. So we end up hitting stop loss. Crazy one. So we end up hitting stop loss on the 5-minute. Yeah, no far from the truth. next session will be so this was the morning GU. It failed to provide an entry. Next 1 hour, I guess. 1 and 2 and 3. Now I got the 1 minute moving. So first fair value gap to be presented here will give us an opportunity. So we have a small gap. It's respected here. So the moment the candle closes, when this candle closes is the moment we enter, because we're just waiting for the candle close to see like how does it respect the gap. So plus 2R. Okay. Come on, man, come on. Why are we always getting stopped out? You can see that the liquidity was taken out though. This was the drawn liquidity, this high from yesterday. If it is the same day, high from the previous session. It was the London high. So no wonder it was targeted. Okay, another loss. Wow, another crazy loss. Right, so let's continue to the next silver bullet session, which is in 3 hours. 2 and 3. Back 1 minute. The thing I like is backtesting. One strategy makes you know what you're looking for. So just here I'm looking for a sweep, shift in structure. So you have some relatively equal lows here. What kind of session is this one? Next. Alright, so first of all, let's see, do you have a draw on liquidity? We still haven't taken out this high. This one right here, which means we have a high that we will take out in the coming time. And we were kind of retesting a gap in here. When we go to the 30 minute, you can see that we have a fair value gap reaction on this order block. And yeah, so let's see what the 5 minute dictates. Yo, what the week? You see that week? Look at these weeks. This price, the first few minutes of the session of this silver bullet session will show you how market will react. Anyways, retest the gap and see if we get an entry. Alright, no entry for the day. Let's go to the next session, which is in 6 hours. So move and 1, 2. Right, so you can see we ended up taking these lows, and this lows was taken out by this one, and in the end we retested a gap here fully. We go to the 1 hour. I hate it when I got the 1 hour, and oh yeah, I like this. Going to the 1 hour, and the silver bullet automatically hides itself. The silver bullet should hide itself when you go to the time frames lower than minutes 15. Okay. Yeah. So on the 1 hour, we can see that we dropped into the range. So we dropped a little bit, but we didn't take out this low. Turns out to be strong low, but we took out this one. And on the 30 minute, we can see that we are still pushing higher, so we can expect a retracement to this fair value gap and push higher. So a sweep, a shift, a retest, and boom, a push. So back to our 5 minute. Okay, I sped it up too much. I forgot to change, but let's see, do we get an entry? So we get the first thing right here. First, this was the gap, which was the first presented gap, and assume we would have entered like the moment this candle closes like this. You can see that there was some signs of bullishness a few pips below the low. Let me target the 1 to 2 right here. And does it play out? I don't think so. I think it goes straight to stop loss. Yeah, gladly we didn't take this one. But this at this time price action was really messy. Crazy. Some crazy stuff. But would it be a sin if after this shift one took a sell? Like after this shift right here in the market, and one takes a good sell off of this gap, targets here the stop loss and targets a 1 to 2. Yeah, it ends up hitting take profit, because on the higher time frame you can see that we wanted to reach the fair value gap, and moreover 45 minutes. Come on, I think I'll change some of the things on the visibility. We want to see it below 10. Okay, so you can see on the 45 minutes how all these candles are closing relating to this fair value gap. You can see where all these candles are closing. See, hence you understand that in this silver bullet we might push way too higher. Wait, so this is the next silver bullet. It's in a PM session. Anyways, let's see how this one goes. Creates a gap, doesn't retest it. This is a big crazy move. Anyways, did the 1 minute provide any opportunity? No, it didn't. So I mean, who am I to fight with the markets? This turned out to be a very crazy week. So let's go to the next session, which is in a few hours. And here we get a retest of this fair value gap, some relatively equal lows. So there's liquidity right here. So when we go to the 1 minute, 1 hour, fast forward a little bit. Here's the silver bullet session. So we end up taking the equal lows, as you can see, and it was really nice price delivery. So back to the 1 minute. Wow, we dropped as crazy. So does the 4 hour look like? I feel like the 4 hour will show this to us in a more clear way. Yeah, so the 4 hour drops into this gap. This price action is doing us dirty, man. And yeah, so we might expect a reaction off of the gap, or a sweep of this low, because this low is a great liquidity holder. So which means we can target it on the 5 minute if we get an entry. So no entry was provided on the 5M. We can see the session has, okay, we have a small gap here. I don't know if we can retest it. It's way too far. So the session just ends without providing an entry. Okay, so we test the gap. Should you expect to sell? Most likely, I guess yes. So let's see what happens when you sell. I mean, this is all for learning purposes, so why not take the risk? Whoa, no delay. no delay, another loss. GU is testing my patience. It's really testing my patience, and the worst part is that it can't even offer an opportunity on the 1M. Well, other than this inverse fair value gap, this one, you can see it was inversed, like here. Come on. But I would need to ask GPT, can you enter off of an inverse fair value gap in the silver bullet? Enter on a retracement of an inverse fair value gap, conversion fair value gap in the silver bullet. So you can enter off of an inverse fair value gap. Huh. Okay, which means you can enter the moment it reverses. So here create this, doesn't get respected, then it shifts. I don't know, I just prefer that here maybe someone will trade like the 5 minute, maybe to get a more clear entry. And if you don't get an entry in the first 30 minutes, it's more likely that you won't even get one. 4 hours, 1 and 3 hours, 1, 2, 1 minute. Okay, so it's more likely we test that fair value gap above. So I would have entered on this one. And how does the 2 minute look like? Shift right here. Oh god, these sessions look really crappy. And did the NAS offer something? This is the moments where you really burn it, and you can see that the NAS offered a good opportunity here. That's why I keep monitoring both, but I think I'll be entering just on the 5 minute time frame, nothing other than that. So 2R is right there. You can see just get filled, and if you don't get filled there, you have a bigger target. You can even get filled here. I mean, wow, this was a really nice one. A sweep, a shift, and then holy. So here, valid entry? I don't think so. So a fair value gap formed before 10:30 can get retested, but if one formed after 10:30, it's less likely to do. Like, see this one, formed at 3:30 or in the middle there, but it didn't get respected. Here, no PM silver bullet. Here we have this gap. Does it get respected? Candles do, the candles do, and then all of a sudden, boom, they drop into this fair value gap, and then they push higher. So there's some kind of manipulation here. And in the morning, you can see this was really nice price delivery here. You can see that we had some kind of gap here. You see it? We tested it and then we drop. No much stuff. Simple. Retest. Stop loss here, and then it drops 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 minutes. And if you hold you until the end of the session, you really get a good feel as well. I mean, a 7 hour. So yeah, good move, pretty good moves. So, I don't know how I'll be monitoring all of them at the same time, but this was great. So let's pause it here and we will continue it later.